issue of tariffs. Last time before this committee, I think it was on the 6th of November, I think there was some uncertainty at that point over the complexion of the new administration in the US. But at that meeting, you said we will make strong representations about the importance of free and open trade, not just between ourselves and the United States, but globally. Could you update us on how effective you think those your representations have been?
Well, I spoke to my opposite number, the Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, in his first week in office. I've joined the G7 meetings since then and spoke to him again on Monday this week. And the Business and Trade Secretary, Johnny Reynolds, is meeting regularly with his opposite number and also the US trade representative as well. And those talks are ongoing. As I said before, and I will happily reiterate it today, I do believe in free trade. The UK has balanced trade with the United States. When our Prime Minister Keir Starmer was in Washington meeting President Trump just a few weeks ago, they agreed to start a rapid dialogue on an economic agreement. That work is ongoing at the moment, but we do not want to see trade barriers go up. Indeed, we want to see trade barriers fall, not just with the United States, but also with our nearest neighbours and trading partners in the European Union, with India and other countries around the world.
But I think it's fair to say, and obviously you're not the arbiter of the US's tariff trade policy, the consequences of what's already been announced are quite significant. What concerns the committee, I think, is that the OBR world economy forecast, based on the IMF forecast, doesn't incorporate any of the changes. Now, you have maintained your headroom, and my colleagues will ask you in more detail about that, at 9.93 billion, exactly the same as in October. It's 50% higher than the most recent of your predecessors, Jeremy Hunt. But against an average over the last 15 years, it's a very, very modest one. Professor Miles told us yesterday from the OBR that if we have the sorts of tariffs that have already been announced on cars and they're maintained, it'll knock out all the headroom. And one of the other things you said to me into this committee on the 6th of November is that you wouldn't be coming back for any more tax increases. Can you confirm to the committee today that you won't be raising taxes?
There's a lot of questions to
answer the last one first, perhaps.
I said in the budget last year that it was a once-in-a-parliament budget to wipe the slate clean after the economic mismanagement of the previous administration. We made a number of difficult decisions around taxation. We increased taxes on the wealthiest in our country, and we also increased, as we've already discussed, taxes on business. I think that was the right balance to restore stability to our public finances.
So you can rule out further tax increases?
I'm not going to write another 4 years' worth of budgets. That would not be responsible, but I can ensure the committee that I will not need to repeat a budget on that scale, because we have now wiped the slate clean and put our public finances on a firm footing. And indeed, in the spending review in 2 and a bit months' time, on June the 11th, we're going to be setting spending for departments, capital and day-to-day spending for the next few years. And public services now need to live within the limits that we've set out.
Obviously, the